everyone, Tom from One Chance Tactical. Today we're going to be taking a look at a couple belts from the guys over at Carbon Tactics. First up, we're going to be taking a look at their CTI belt, and secondly, we're going to be taking a look at their tie hook. Now, both these belts are super good options, not just for EDC, but the reason I'm actually really liking them is that these can be used in a wide variety of uses. So let's take a look at the first one, the CTI. Now, when it comes to belt selection, I wouldn't say I have unrealistic requirements, but I definitely have requirements that are a little bit more on the stringent side. First and foremost, it needs to be able to support the load of whatever it is that we're carrying, and it needs to support the reload so whatever we're carrying doesn't shift around. When things shift around, that leads to our inconsistencies, and therefore that leads to us not being able to grab the gun with a consistent grip. So supporting the load is kind of first and foremost. Second thing I like to see is, this is just me personally, my opinion, I'm not a big fan of a belt that's just for competition or just for everyday carry or just for duty use. I'd like to see a belt that I can use in a wide variety of options. I kind of like to having one belt that I can do everything with. Whether that's put some rifle magazines on the left side and then strong carry on my right side if I'm on a range and I'm working with a rifle, whether that be everyday carry. It doesn't really matter, whatever it is, the belt I have can take just about whatever I want to do with it. Next thing I look for, easy on off. I have nothing against Cobra buckles. I've used them quite a bit. There's some companies out there that have smaller, low profile Cobra buckles like the Aries Ranger belt. And even with that smaller, low-profile buckles, so a lot of the pants that I have, you have to separate the male and the female end and then thread the belt around your waist and then loop the tail through. Now, that might not be a particularly big deal to you, and it is quite a trivial thing, but when I get dressed in the morning, I certainly don't like having anything becoming like a chore, having it become a thing. I don't really like just having to get out of bed and like pay attention to how the belt is going on. I simply just want to get up, get dressed, put my stuff on, and walk out the door. So easy don, doff, on, off, whatever you'd like to call it, that actually becomes something that I take a look at when I look for a belt. I want something going easy on, easy off, period, the end. Whether that's you ate some Taco Bell and you need to take your pants off really quick, you guys all know what I'm talking about. So that's another requirement that I have. Lastly, comfortability. I have a ton of belts that I've been using over the years for everyday carry or this, that, or the other thing. And from those belts, I've kind of narrowed it down to a select few that I can use in a wide variety of roles. And then out of those belts, what actually is comfortable. There's some belts that they are so, I wouldn't necessarily call them overbuilt, but they are so tough. I personally, I don't have the meatiest hips, so I kind of have bony hips. So after a while, some of those belts that are really tough, they do start digging into my hips after a while, and that's just simply where I wear my pants. So comfortability does play into a factor for belts as me as well. So the guys over at Carbon Tactics sent us out a couple samples. What they sent us out was a CTI, the tie hook, and a couple Badger straps. Now the Badger straps, to me, they deserve their own videos, so what we're really going to be looking at today is the CTI and the tie hook. So first up, the CTI hook, or excuse me, just the CTI. Super clean, super nice finished buckle. This is something that I would have no problems wearing with dress pants or anything if I was trying to get dressed up. You can get these from their website in double or single layer. They sent me out the double layers. Stitching, I have triple stitching all the way around the belt. And all in all, it's actually been extremely comfortable. This belt's super easy on off. It comes with a little piece of elastic right here so you can take the tail end and stow it away. No big deal. And threading it, when you actually put it on, it's very similar if you guys ever wore those BDU belts, if you're ever in the Army or something like that. It goes on just like the old friction belt that you were issued. So 1, 2, 3, the belt's on. Skepticism for both these belts was definitely there. This one I wore for about 40% of the time. The tie hook is the one I spent the most time with so far, and that's actually the one I'm actually digging the most. But in lieu of the fact this is a friction belt, I have had zero slip issues since I've been carrying this. On both these belts, I've carried strong side outside the waistband, just doing some work on the range. Where I spent most of my time carrying just simply concealed, just because I am a regular civilian. that belt has been supporting a relatively heavy load. This is my Glock 19. I carry a spare mag with a TTI base pad, so we got about 4 pounds or so right here that I carry appendix every day. That belt has not had any problems at all supporting that load or any other load that I threw at it. Another thing worth noting, the buckle itself, when they actually make these buckles, they concave them a little bit. So if you're like me, I wear my buckles at the 11 o'clock position, 10:30, 11 o'clock position. These will not dig into your hips. They're pretty low profile, so whether you wear your buckle at the 11 o'clock like me, or if you wear it at 12 o'clock, it's going to sit extremely low profile, especially once you cinch it down, and it's not going to present any printing issues. You're not going to see your buckle through your shirt or whatever you're wearing, and it's all in all just a very, very clean fit finish. So super nice belt. Again, no slip issues. It's built extremely well, and I'm definitely digging it. So let's take a look at the tie hook real quick. The second one we're going to be taking a look at is their tie hook. This is one of their newer belts, and that's actually the, let me take a step up, that's actually the belt that I am wearing right now. When I first took a look at the tie hook, the first thing that came to my mind, and I'm just going to be honest, initial impressions were, right off the bat, were no way. And that's simply because how easy this belt goes on and off. It just, the material comes right out, you slip it right on. What's basically what we have going on here is, as with the CTI, the tie hook is made from, this is a titanium belt buckle. And with that little curve right down here, you have a little loop right here. And once you actually get this adjusted, because you can slide this buckle around the tail right here, once you get this adjusted to your waist, all you're simply doing is threading it through, putting the material over, and then it's locking down on you. So when I first took a look at this, first thing I thought to myself was, no way, this thing's probably going to fall off. I assumed it might actually slip off during, while I was wearing, or perhaps if I was doing some running and gunning, or anything that was kind of strenuous, and how wrong I was. Not only does this not slip, but I've actually hung and done pull-ups off this thing, as with the CTI, and I'm actually going to do that for you guys just here in a minute. I didn't do anything crazy with it, like hook it up to a truck. I think that's kind of a ridiculous test for a belt. But what we're really looking for in a belt, as we had said before, is something that's supportive, comfortable, easy on and off, as I personally like, and something that you can wear with a wide variety of, well, let's say, clothing options. And the tie hook is definitely doing the trick. This is probably the fastest belt I've ever owned that can go on and off, and it's actually the most comfortable belt that I have worn to date. Tie hook is definitely my favorite. So let's take a look and see how actual durable they are. Now, as we had said with durability, I just panned the camera on a little bit. I just wanted to show you guys something. As we had said with durability, just because of the way the hook looks, it looks like this very much so could be a weak point, where if this belt were to break, it'd probably be from snapping off right here. While they are not rated for load bearing too much, they definitely can support the weight. So I've swung off this belt, I swung off the one that I'm wearing right now, and they actually are quite strong. So the tie hook's up here right now, I'm actually hanging off of it, and you can pretty much give this belt whatever you want and just swing off of it. I weigh, I think right now I'm pretty heavy, I'm walking around at about 191, so the belt can definitely take my body weight, no problem. And even with my full body weight swinging off of it, it just takes it. The CTI belt, as I had said before, it doesn't slip a whole lot, or not even a whole lot at all. Even this guy up here, just straight friction belt. It takes my weight no problem. It doesn't slip at all, and that's especially because of the material. The way it folds over on itself, the more, it seems the tighter the tension is on the belt itself, the more it's actually going to be locked just through friction. So these belts are not going anywhere on you. As we had, I kind of talked a little bit before about easy donned off. I was going to show you how quick these belts, or at least in particular the tie hook, goes on and off for me, and I'm loving it. So right now I actually have the belt on. To take it off, all I'm simply doing is releasing the material, and the belt's off. Double layered, rigid as hell. and simply to put it on. All you really need to do is to simply weave it through your belt loops, simply like any other belt. If I can find my belt loop, there it is. I take the tail right here, goes right underneath. I stow some of the excess around an elastic strap right here in the front, and hook, and we are good to go. I keep it adjusted to my waist for a firearm because I carry every single day. So next up goes in my gun. We are nice and secure, and that's pretty much it. So getting dressed in the morning, about 15 seconds, full load, you're ready to go. And then you take your medical kit, wherever that you might carry that. I carry one around my ankle. Throw that on and you are good to go. Throw a flashlight in your pocket, and that's it. So all in all, the belts that Carbon Tactics sent us out are absolutely awesome. They're bomb proof, and I didn't actually think they were going to be this tough, but they absolutely are. I couldn't recommend these belts enough. Price point's definitely there. These belts, on the grand scheme of things, whereas a lot of other belts are price range, these actually don't cost too much. And for what you're getting and something that you can wear in a wide variety of options, you're kind of buying a belt that will potentially, it can last you the rest of your life, and it's going to be a belt that you can wear just about anything. So these are kind of the one belt for everything. This is obviously, we got flat dark earth black. I mainly wear black belts. I'm not really into the flat dark earth, but they come in a wide variety of colors. You can get the buckles in this titanium finish right here, or you can get them colored. The options are kind of this, it's a myriad of options you guys can get on their website. So go ahead and definitely check them out over at carbontactics.com. This is Tom from One Chance Tactical. Thank you guys for watching, and you stay safe.